It's your HR Big Sister here again, and I want to talk to you about something that I see quite often, and it is something called learned helplessness. Now, I'm going to put a link to a video that shows an experiment about learned helplessness that displays it pretty clearly how this can happen. So take a look at that. Essentially, what they do is they give two halves of the room different tasks to do. And they say, raise your hand as soon as you're done. The right hand side of the room, they have easy versions. The left hand has more difficult. By the third task, they have the same. The left hand side of the room, very few people finish it. And here's what's going on. When we try something and fail, or we feel stupid, or we see other people doing well, our brains can trick us into thinking it's not worth trying. Our confidence goes down, and often due to things like self-verification, when we believe something to be true, we act as if it already is without even giving a chance to be wrong. So what does your HR Big Sister care about that? Well, here's the deal. When you're pushing yourself at work to try something new, chances are you're going to make mistakes. That is the learning process. That is how we learn. Think about as babies learning to walk. You didn't stand up and just start walking and never trip. You have to make mistakes in order to learn. But imagine if as babies we fell once and then we said, no, I'm not going to bother with that walking thing again. But this is what happens at work. We become unable to finish things. We become our own saboteurs, getting in our own way, unwilling to or unable to tackle things that we may have struggled with in the past. So, how do we overcome learned helplessness? How do we know if it's actually something that's affecting us? Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell you pretty much about everything, which is practice self-reflection. Often we breeze through our day, we bust through our day, we focus on the task at hand, we focus on what's in front of us or worry about what's happened in the past, but we don't spend a lot of time with ourselves. And so if we can spend some time with ourselves, checking in with ourselves, seeing how we're doing, unpacking how we're having reactions to certain situations, we can learn more and we can thrive and flourish more at work. And assuming that you don't have bullies at work or toxic behavior, you should be able to spend some time self-reflecting and identifying if there's any self-verification such as perfectionism, fortune-telling, over-generalizing that are actually getting in your way and hindering you from being your best version of yourself. So spend 5 minutes listening to you. You'll be amazed what you learn.